Can money buy happiness? Lesson Plan, Level C1, Advanced. Summary. 1. Introduction and philosophical context. 2. Vocabulary. 3. True and false statements. 4. Quiz. 5. Debate questions. Introduction and philosophical context. The complex question of whether material wealth truly secures contentment is of constant interest to people everywhere. While the popular idea is that money can't buy happiness, the facts suggest a more complex relationship between income and well-being. It's crucial to acknowledge that up to a certain point, financial resources are essential. They remove the constant stress and scarcity that come with trying to afford necessities like food, housing, and medical care. This economic stability gives people a fundamental sense of control and freedom, which is a decisive first step toward happiness. Moving from poverty, destitution, to middle-class affluence always results in a big, noticeable jump in life satisfaction. However, the positive effect of money eventually runs into diminishing returns. Research suggests that once someone earns enough to be comfortable, a subjective figure often around $75,000 to $100,000 annually, earning more brings very small, almost worthless gains in daily emotional well-being. When this happens, chasing ever greater material accumulation becomes pointless, often leading to a psychological problem called the hedonic treadmill. This means that humans quickly get used to new levels of wealth. The initial intense joy, elation, of a significant purchase is fleeting, and soon we need the next thing to feel that joy again. This process can sometimes lead to a deep sense of dissatisfaction, malaise. Therefore, the secret to using money for well-being is not how much you have, but how you spend it. Studies clearly show that buying experiential purchases, like travel or courses, creates more lasting happiness than buying material goods, like cars or gadgets. Experiences help build social connections, give us memorable stories, and become part of who we are. They are also less prone to social comparison. Another strong way to use money is through pro-social spending, using your financial endowment to help others. Simple acts of altruism, whether large donations or small gifts to friends, give a much greater boost to subjective well-being than spending on oneself. This confirms our intrinsic human desire for connection and contribution. In conclusion, while money is a vital tool for eliminating the causes of unhappiness, poverty, insecurity, it cannot directly purchase the components of true happiness, which remain rooted in strong relationships, purpose, health, and a mindful use of one's resources. The real wealth lies in how wisely we use our disposable income to enrich our lives and those around us. Vocabulary. Affluence. Synonym, opulence. Definition. The state of having a great deal of money or possessions. Wealth. Example. Their sudden increase in affluence did not stop them from working tirelessly. Subjective. Synonym, personal. Definition. Relating to or based on personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. Example. Whether art is good or bad is always a highly subjective judgment. Fleeting. Synonym, ephemeral. Definition. Existing or lasting for a very short time. Example. The joy of a new gadget is often fleeting, quickly replaced by a new desire. Malaise. Synonym, discontent. Definition. A negative emotional state of uneasiness or dissatisfaction, often without a clear cause. Example. Despite his success, he experienced a deep professional malaise, feeling unfulfilled. Correlation. Synonym, link. Definition. A close mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. Example. There is a proven correlation between early education and lifetime earnings. Diminishing returns. Synonym, reduction. Definition. The principle that the benefit gained from something lessens with each additional unit consumed. Example. The law of diminishing returns applies to wealth. Extra millions don't guarantee extra happiness. Contentment. Synonym, fulfillment. Definition. The quality of being completely satisfied and at ease. Example. True contentment is found in simplicity, not in endless material acquisition. Propensity. Synonym, tendency. Definition. A natural inclination or tendency to behave in a particular way. Example. People who save money have a higher propensity for financial scarcity. Synonym, lack. Endowment, synonym, grant. Definition: a gift, especially a large one. A natural ability or quality. Example: he used his financial endowment to set up a scholarship fund for students. Utility, synonym, usefulness. Definition: the capacity of a commodity or service to satisfy human needs or wants. Example: economists study the utility of different goods to predict consumer behavior. Altruism, synonym, generosity. Definition: spending money or resources on the benefit of others, rather than oneself. Example: the CEO's commitment to altruism led to huge donations to local charities. Intrinsic, synonym, innate. Definition: relating to deep-seated feelings or the essential nature of something. Example: the intrinsic value of a handmade gift often outweighs its monetary cost. Hedonic, synonym, pleasurable. Definition: concerned with or devoted to pleasure, relating to the pursuit of pleasure. Example: the quest for pure hedonic satisfaction rarely leads to lasting peace. True or false statements. Studies suggest that above a certain income level, increased wealth correlates strongly with increased day-to-day emotional well-being. False. Diminishing returns. Experiential purchases are generally forgotten more quickly than material possessions. False. Experiences create lasting memories. The hedonic treadmill effect describes our rapid adaptation to new levels of comfort or wealth. True. Pro-social spending, or spending on others, is often shown to be less fulfilling than personal consumption. False. It is generally more fulfilling. Financial security addresses the malaise caused by meeting basic necessities. True. The intrinsic value of an object is always greater than its market price. False. Intrinsic value is subjective, not always greater. A high degree of affluence automatically removes all stress from a person's life. False. It removes financial stress, but often adds new complexities. The concept of diminishing returns means that the first unit of something often provides the greatest utility. True. A high personal propensity for saving often correlates with greater long-term life satisfaction. True. The state of contentment is primarily achieved through continuous material accumulation. False. It is achieved through internal factors, not external accumulation. Quiz. 1. What psychological phenomenon describes the human tendency to quickly return to a baseline level of happiness after major life events? A. Hedonic treadmill. B. Diminishing returns. C. Altruistic adaptation. D. Material accumulation. Answer: A. Hedonic treadmill. 2. Which type of purchase is most consistently linked to higher long-term happiness? A. Luxury vehicles. B. High-value jewelry. C. Experiential goods, e.g., travel. D. Real estate. Answer: C. Experiential goods, e.g., travel. 3. In economic terms, what term describes the satisfaction or benefit derived from consuming a good or service? A. Altruism. B. Utility. C. Correlation. D. Endowment. Answer: B. Utility. 4. Which concept explains why the benefit of buying a second expensive car is less than the benefit of buying the first? A. Pro-social spending. B. Scarcity principle. C. Altruism. D. Diminishing returns. Answer: D. Diminishing returns. 5. What word describes having a tendency or inclination towards a specific behavior, such as saving? A. Propensity. B. Contentment. C. Affluence. D. Malaise. Answer: A. Propensity. 6. A purchase that gives an immediate but short-lived burst of pleasure can be described as A. Subjective. B. Intrinsic. C. Fleeting, ephemeral. D. Endowment. Answer: C. Fleeting, ephemeral. 7. What term is used for the concept of using one's wealth to benefit others, like through charity? A. Altruism. Pro-social spending. B. Hedonic spending. C. Material utility. D. Correlational wealth. Answer: A. Altruism, pro-social spending. 8. What does research suggest happens to daily emotional well-being once basic financial security is achieved? A. It continues to increase sharply. B. It shows only minor or diminishing gains with further income. C. It immediately decreases due to complex finances. D. It becomes entirely objective. Answer. B. It shows only minor or diminishing gains with further income. The value of strong relationships and personal growth, unrelated to market price, is considered what type of value? A. Hedonic value. B. Endowment value. C. Subjective correlation. D. Intrinsic value. Answer. D. Intrinsic value. 10. The generalized feeling of being unwell, dissatisfied, or uneasy, often without a clear cause, is called A. Malaise. B. Affluence. C. Scarcity. D. Contentment. Answer. A. Malaise. Discussion questions. If you had an unlimited endowment, what 5 non-material things would you buy? Time, skills, peace, etc. Are these the intrinsic components of a happy life? Do you believe the diminishing returns income threshold, 75K, 100K, is subjective based on cultural expectations, or is it a universal psychological limit? The hedonic treadmill suggests we always return to baseline. If that is true, what is the utility of pursuing success or wealth at all? Can you think of an example where scarcity of time or a resource actually enhanced your contentment when you finally obtained it? Is there a moral correlation between the level of wealth an individual possesses and their propensity for altruism? Imagine a world where all goods are free. What would people then compete for? And would the sense of malaise disappear or simply shift focus? Is a life dedicated to hedonic pursuit necessarily a bad life, or is lasting happiness simply an outdated goal? 8. Describe a recent purchase that turned out to be genuinely fleeting in its satisfaction, and what you could have purchased instead to create a lasting experience. Do wealthy people have a greater responsibility to engage in pro-social spending than others? Why or why not?